What's it kind of mean to have all this come together like that?
It's a little I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Not overwhelmed, but I just can't quite find the words. This is like something that means a lot to me. Having my family's name out there, but also giving the student athletes this type of facility is huge, and I really mean it. It's been such a group effort. Tim Headington was huge, and this whole building getting done with a ton of other donors. I'm sure if you guys have seen all the different rooms, so I'm glad to be a part of that. But this is something that my family and I are very, very proud of.
How did y'all decide on going with the family name rather than maybe just you?
There was like a rendering early on that was like the Blake Griffin Performance Center. I hated it. It made me feel like weird, just because our whole lives, my brother and I have been supported by my parents, by our parents, and they were the ones driving us to practice. Working 2 jobs to make sure we had everything we needed, shoes, uniforms, all that. So this whole thing has been it's been a group effort.
When you were growing up, you and Taylor, how much did your parents stress giving back and doing for others?
They always did. My dad, financially we weren't able to do that. My dad, I used to watch him, wake up at 7, go teach all day, then go coach, practice, games, whatever it was, and then he'd stay late, give kids rides home. A lot of times take our leftovers and take them to his students, his players. A very, very selfless person. My mom's the same way. They always did what they could, even if it wasn't, helping financially, it was helping in whatever way they could. And without even really talking about it, that Taylor and I saw that. And that, when you see that every day, and it's just a routine, then, it's just part of life for you.
Blake, since you came through here, you had a Final Four run, 2 lottery picks, and then, of course, the Thunder kind of made their stamp on the state. What can you say about just the legacy of basketball in the state of Oklahoma, especially after commemorating the Griffin complex?
The state of basketball in Oklahoma, to me, has never been better. Just the awareness. I mean, this is a football school, and it will be for a long time because of everything they've accomplished, and rightfully so. But that doesn't mean that basketball can't take that next step and be mentioned every year as a team to possibly win a championship. And I think what Coach Kruger's done and what we tried to do is lay that foundation. We've had successful teams in the past, but it starts with something like this, and it really starts with Coach Kruger and what he's done and everything, and hopefully this is just a tool to help them get to that next level.
How much do you think this could help recruiting?
Hopefully a lot. I mean, I hope guys come through this, and girls come through this facility, and they think they can imagine themselves working out here, and we've tried to give every tool possible. So if a kid really wants to earn it and they want to work hard enough, and they have everything that they need, there's stuff in here that I've never used, that I've never had in my whole NBA career, and that's pretty special. When I talked about giving people the tools, that's sometimes all you need. There's no secret formula. There's no secret workout or trainer or whatever it is. But when you give kids the opportunity to use the best of the best, then that's all they can ask for.
You mentioned there's stuff in here that you've never used, but how much stuff in here was on your suggestion? How much of your stamp do you see in here?
I mean, for me, mostly it was about the functionality, like the space having functionality. I think sometimes when you're designing something new, right when I got drafted to the Clippers, they had this brand new training facility, and it was probably the best in the NBA at the time. But the weight room was just, it had all this brand new equipment. It was very nice, but everything was kind of in a small space, and as strength training changes, you don't use all this equipment. You need open space. You need something like this. So we weren't able to transform that into something like this. So this design gives us the opportunity in 10 years, when things do change, because they will, to switch it around and be able to add new technology. And that was my biggest thing for this building is being able to keep up with the trends and how everything goes. And I think this space is perfect for it.
You got anything special planned for the Pistons when they come down here?
Yeah, trying to figure it out. We just kind of made that plan. Coach Casey texted me that we were playing a game here in Oklahoma City, and asked if I wanted to like stay over and have the team come up here and practice. And I immediately was like, yeah, of course. So we'll figure something out. It'll be a cool day, and hopefully more of our guys will get a lift in that day since we had this.
How's it been working with Dewayne Casey I mean, you've only known him for really, I guess, a few weeks, but how's it been so far working with him in the transition to Detroit?
He's great, man. He interviewed for the Clippers job my first year really in the league, and didn't ultimately get it, but I was pulling for him at the time, and got to know him a little bit over my career, but just in this past 2-3 months, whatever it's been, he's been unbelievable. He's a guy that was Coach of the Year and got fired. So we're very, very lucky to have him, and he's built a really good staff. And I'm looking forward to starting this season kind of on a fresh start.
There's a nice little touch with the alumni locker room.
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
The alumni locker room and the nameplates and everything. Can you talk about the significance of that and just kind of the symbolism behind having that there?
Yeah, that's something I talk. When Buddy was coming out, it was something that we talked about a lot. Was coming back here more often. Having a week maybe in the summer when the guys are here, maybe before school starts or around this time, and coming and working out with these guys. Because I see the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Kentuckys, those guys all do that, and I think it's important for the guys that are in this program right now to see guys like Buddy, to see guys like Trey that are where they want to get to, and are also familiar faces. So the alumni locker room hopefully will grow and get bigger, and hopefully we'll have 20 lockers in there of guys that are still playing, whether it's in the NBA or overseas, and we all come back and we play, and there's that family atmosphere that grows each year.
Blake, I want to switch gears on you a little bit. I used to cover Tulsa football, and I just want to ask about Wilson Holloway. Is he someone that still stays with you to this day?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's several projects that we're working on that he's still in our hearts. I mean, everybody that he knew and everybody that got to know him, he's not somebody that you forget. His legacy hopefully lives on as well through all the stuff we're doing.
Going back to recruiting real quick, you're talking about all the stuff that's in here. When you were getting recruited, what were the big things you were looking for?
Man, the thing I was most excited about was having my key card that got me into the gym 24. Like, I remember Coach Cable was like, yeah, that key card works 20. Or actually, it was my brother, because my brother was here first, and he was like, yeah, my key card works 24/7. I was like, that's amazing. I can come shoot at 2 a.m. if I want to. And that's what I mean. Like that, like stuff like that was exciting for me, because I knew that it was up to me whether how hard I wanted to work, determined where I was going to go with basketball, and that was a huge thing for me. I would have loved something like this, but I don't think any facility was like this at the time when I was in school.
Also, the NBA level of stuff in here. Now, how important was that for you, that players feel like they can come in here and get ready for the professional ranks?
Very important. I mean, it depends on everyone's goal, but like I said, this just gives the opportunity, and it's up to the individual how hard they want to work and what they want to achieve. But some of the equipment in here and just the space in general is unbelievable. The strength and conditioning staff did a great job of making sure that everything had a purpose. I don't think there's wasted space. I think there's a bunch of functional space, and I was really, really impressed with all the attention to detail that everybody put into it.
Along with the recruiting line a little bit, do you think OU switch to Jordan brand will garner some more excitement, and could that get recruits?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Obviously I was with Nike for my first couple of years in the league and switched to Jordan, and there's similarities to me between the University of Oklahoma and Jordan. It really feels like a family atmosphere at Jordan because it's a kind of a more select group of players, and I don't know, there's not a bigger name in basketball, shoes, apparel, all that for kids these days. So I hope that does help recruiting.
Obviously, you helped with the reveal in that. How much of those talks were you a part of when you were selecting the school for that?
I first started talking to them about it probably 4 years ago. I can't remember what player. I think Dwayne Wade at the time was still with Jordan. Marquette became Jordan. And there's another school, and that was kind of always something that I wanted to eventually happen if that's what the University of Oklahoma wanted. So as those talks, got closer and closer, I didn't really have to do much. It's Jordan and the University of Oklahoma. So I think those are two perfect matches. Yeah. Thanks, guys.